Good afternoon. It is Sunday after Thanksgiving, and I have a pot of turkey and butternut squash soup in my crock pot for later. So it smells really nice in here. So as a reminder, I'm at the cabin. I've been here for a really long time, and I am very limited on space. So what I wanted to just kind of remind you of here to begin with is to make sure that you have your mat. I also have a blanket. I have a couple of bolsters, a block, and a variety of other kind of things just around my space. If you need to sit on a chair, feel free to sit on a chair. If you want to just follow along sitting on a chair, watching and imagining yourself doing the poses, please feel free to do that as well. There are no requirements. I'm just guiding you through a series of breathing exercises, physical poses. We're going to end with a really nice long Savasana today. And I want you to remember that the practice is yours. It's nobody else's. You don't have to do downward dogs if downward dogs are not a thing for you. You don't have to do anything that isn't feeling right for your body. So also, this is a submittal for my 300-hour yoga teacher training. So that will put me at having an RYT 500 when I am finished with this and get it submitted. I am hoping to add back some local classes here soon and some online stuff as well. So most of you know, if you're in this group, that in 2021, 2021's been kind of a rough year. I was diagnosed with cancer in March, and yoga has been kind of one of those mainstays. I've done several certifications this year for yoga and yoga teacher training and such. So today's practice is going to focus on feel good stuff, but it's also going to focus on a conversation about Lakshmi. Lakshmi is a Hindu goddess of prosperity and beauty. Also, keeping in mind that, in abundance, but keeping in mind that abundance and prosperity does not necessarily mean financial abundance and prosperity. So what we're going to be focusing on today is Lakshmi as she relates to abundant health, wellness, and well-being, be that physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. So I want you to bring to mind a mantra that resonates with you today before we go ahead and get started. My mantra today is going to be, I am healthy, mind, body, and soul. I am healthy, mind, body, and soul. So you can keep that mantra in your mind as you keep working through the practice today. All right, so I'm going to go back on my mat. And I know we've got a little bit of a glare coming in from the ceiling. But this is actually literally the only place in my house that is big enough to throw down a mat and have the camera far enough away. So, as I mentioned, yoga has been a huge mainstay in my healing journey this year. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about some studies that have been done. This is from a book called The Principles and Practice of Yoga in Healthcare. And the section is about cancer. And there was, they researched or they reviewed a bunch of different studies. They had 11 randomized trials reported on a variety of outcomes, including quality of life, psychological, spiritual, and physical medical outcomes. They compared to controls. The yoga participants reported significantly better emotional, mental, social, physical, and general quality of life and self-reported health. Yoga participants also demonstrated significant improvements in several measures of mental health, including positive and negative affect, general stress, distress, depression, and anxiety. Yoga participants in several of the studies reported improved sleep and decreased fatigue. One study also looked at an index of stress hormone regulation and found a steeper cortisol slope among yoga participants, and that actually may predict improved survival, although of course they need to do more studies. So in the summary, it talks about research had examined the effect of yoga for adults undergoing treatment for cancer, revealed 6 non-randomized studies and 11 randomized controlled trials, finding most consistent support the efficacy of yoga to improve mental health outcomes such as distress, mood, and anxiety, which we talked about before. Several studies also indicated that yoga improves sleep, fatigue, and quality of life. But more research is needed to clarify the efficacy for different types of quality of life. So as an example, how did it affect mental, social, physical, or cancer-specific qualities of life? These effects may be especially noteworthy given that yoga participants in some studies showed improvement while the waitlist control group worsened on outcomes such as distress and fatigue. So finally, just to kind of summarize some of the research, it says preliminary support exists for other important outcomes that warrant additional research, including cognitive function, spiritual well-being, treatment side effects, surgical outcomes, and biomarkers of stress and immunity. So I started my practice back up again within a couple of days of having surgery. And as most of you know, that's kind of where I stopped with the Western medicine treatment, and I did a bunch of other things. But just so that you're aware, yoga was a huge component of my healing journey as I started to recover from the surgery and bring myself back to a healthy state. So I am going to find a comfortable place on my bolster today. You are welcome to find that comfortable place in your chair. Let your hands settle to your knees. Let's relax our shoulders down our back. So starting with a couple of breath work techniques. The first one we're going to do is like a tense and release breath. So what we're going to do is we're going to take in 2 sharp inhales and then 2 exhales. So the inhales will come in through our nose. And then at the same time, allow your body to tense and release. So tense on the inhale and release on the exhale. We're going to do that 2 more times. So inhale, exhale, 1 more time. All right, let's let our hands come to what we call Anjali Mudra at the heart. So just the hands at the heart. So allowing your thumbs to settle into your heart, pressing those fingers together, just gently letting the pads of the fingers touch. Releasing down the back, let your eyes close here, and we are going to focus in on something that's called a box breath. So a box breath, we're going to inhale for 4, we're going to hold at the top for 4, and we're going to exhale for 4. And I'm going to go ahead and count with you. If you are a little faster, a little slower than my count, that's fine. Just kind of try to settle in with some kind of a count with that box breath. So inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, hold 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, hold 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, hold 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to do that 3 more times. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Last time with that box breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, from that Anjali Mudra, we're going to open up into something called the Lotus Mudra. So with the Lotus Mudra, we're going to let our hands come apart. So now just the thumbs are touching, the fingertips, the baby fingers are touching, and all your other fingers are opened up to the sky to allow energy to be pulled in from wherever that energy resides. So just settling in to that mudra for just a moment, and just allowing your breath to go back to your normal, your regular breath. Feeling that energy coming into your body. Imagine yourself feeling with light, imagine filling your body with light, healing energy. On your next exhale, let the hands come to the knees, sit up nice and tall. I'm going to do a little bit of seated cat-cow. So as we exhale, just kind of let yourself fold in. As you exhale, let the spine curve, let your head come forward if you're seated in a chair. Just doing the same thing with your hands either on your knees or on the edges of your chair. Now, as you inhale, allow that heart to come and open. Lift your gaze to the sky. Release your shoulders back. A few more times with your own breath, just allowing that exhale to let your body curve. Inhale, open and lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, open and lift. One more time. Exhale, release. Inhale, open and lift. Now settling back to your seat. Hands to the knees again. Inhale, lift those shoulders, drop them back. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, lift. This will open your heart again. Drop those shoulders back. One more time, lift and release. Now finding our way to just a gentle twist here to start with. We're going to drop those fingertips to the ground. Just tent up those fingertips on your mat. If you are not on a bolster, they'll come a little closer to the mat. If you're sitting in a chair, just reach those hands forward down to the sides and tent your fingers. Now, on an inhale, let the fingertips rise. We're going to drop into a little bit of a twist, letting that left hand drop to the right knee, and just allow your right hand to fall behind you. On your next inhale, lift up through the crown of your head and take your gaze back. Let's inhale back to the sky and drop that twist to the other side. Exhale. Again, inhale, lift. 2 more times to each side. Exhale, left hand to right knee, right hand behind. Inhale to the sky. Exhale, release. Inhale to the sky. Once more to each side. Inhale to the sky. Exhale those hands to the heart. Back to that Anjali Mudra. Now releasing your hands to your knees. I'm going to come around to all fours. If you're seated in a chair, you can stay right where you are and just follow along with the cat-cow stretch from your chair. All right, so coming to hands and knees with our palms directly underneath our shoulders and our knees underneath our hips. I'm going to flatten through my feet, but if that doesn't feel good for you, you're welcome to keep those toes turned up. Now, as we press into the palms, press each fingertip one at a time down into your mat. Engage your core, so just kind of hug that belly button in. Now, as you exhale, let the spine rise and the head fall. As you inhale, allow that belly to fall and the head to rise. Let's just go with that breath. One more full breath. And let's settle back to that neutral spine. Now I'm going to add on here a little bit. And if any of these things are not feeling right for your body today, just feel free to watch, feel free to modify, feel free to do what feels good within your own personal body today. I'm going to reach my right leg back and my left hand forward. So as I reach that left hand forward, I'm going to pull out through those left fingertips, press back through my right heel. Now, in order to bring this into a heart opener, I'm going to bring that left hand back, find my right ankle, and lift. Open through the heart, let that gaze come forward. Exhale, release, and drop back into an extended child's pose for a couple of breaths. Inhale, come back through center. Now I know, and I forgot to mention, for some of you, extended child's pose may not be a happy place to be. Feel free to take those bolsters and put it under your knees or behind your knees, or you can just stay here. If you're seated, you're welcome to stay there. So now taking the left leg back and the right hand forward, inhale, lift. Pulling out through those right fingertips and through the left heel. Again, I'm going to bend that left leg, reach back with my right hand, and come in to a little stretch. My chicken, my rooster has decided to join us in our yoga today. The cat is coming down as well. Now let's release. Drop back again into a little bit of an extended child's pose if it feels good. Just allow those hands to reach forward. If you're seated in a chair, you can just release forward into a little bit of a seated forward fold. And let's inhale, come back through center, turn your toes, press back. Let's find our downward dog. If you're in a chair, you're just staying in that chair. You can also come off the chair and place your hands to the seat and step your feet back into a modified downward dog. Now let's soften our knees, walk our feet forward until we are at that forward fold. You can soften your knees as much as you need to let your fingertips touch the ground. If you're seated in a chair, just release into a forward fold in your chair. And now we're going to just walk our feet apart about hips width. And we have the cat doing a downward facing dog here as well. So letting our feet step apart, drop your hips down into a little bit of a yogi squat. Just allowing a little opening through the hips. And then press back up to that forward fold. Drop down again. Inhale back to the forward fold. Exhale to that little partial squat. Inhale, forward fold. This time, allow yourself to come down into the squat. I am going to bring, I have this long bolster here. I'm going to bring that behind my heels and allow myself to use that support. So then the elbows can come inside the knees if that feels good. Your palms can press together again, allowing the elbows to gently open the knees. Lift up through the crown of your head. And let's bring those hands back to that Anjali Mudra again, with those thumbs pressing into the heart. Lift through the crown. And exhale, fingertips to the ground. Inhale, allow those hips to rise. If you've got that bolster, you can move it. Let's reverse our swan dive. So let the arms rise. Exhale, settle back and open the arms into like a goalpost. So we press the elbows back. Allow the heart to open. Allow yourself to bring in that positive energy, that lovely life force that's all around us. Bringing in the breath. Inhale, fingertips to sky. Exhale. Open and lift. Inhale again. Exhale, open. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. So pressing into the fingertips. If you need, you can bring your hands to your shins. Another downward dog. Let those hands come forward. Step back, downward dog. Press into those heels. Inhale your hips up a bit, and then exhale, release back a little deeper. Now, softening the left heel to the mat. Inhale your right foot to the sky for a little hip opening. Exhale, drop that right heel back. Inhale, lift that right heel as high as you can to the sky, and exhale, bring that right foot forward through the hands. Dropping that left heel down, coming up and finding your warrior two. Find your strength here in this warrior two, softening in to that forward knee, reaching back with the left hand forward with the right. Let your palms look forward. Reversing into a reverse warrior. Drop that left hand back. Reach up through the right fingertips. This may be your place right here. If you are looking for more, drop back further. This left hand that I had you drop onto the left leg, you are welcome to wrap that around to the right hip flexor. Inhale back to your warrior two. Now, we are going to bring our hands forward. So you're going to pull that left hand around and turn on that left foot to find a warrior one. So lifting up through those fingertips again, dropping down in to that right forward, that leg. Exhale the hands back to your heart again. And expanding on that hip opening even more, we're going to release forward. Inhale back up. And we're just going to pivot to go to the other side. So straighten that forward leg. Turn those right toes in. Turn the left toes out. So we're just pivoting that warrior two to the other side. And soften in to that left knee. Now again, inhale, lift those arms. Have the palms looking forward, but your shoulders settling back. Opening that heart again, allowing again in that wonderful Lakshmi energy, that wonderful power and strength that is a warrior. Again, reversing, drop that right hand back, reach that left hand to the sky, stopping here if this is your happy place. If you'd like to expand a bit, that right hand that I had you drop to the right leg can wrap around toward the left hip. Inhale back through center. Exhale, pivot into that warrior one. So you may need to adjust your feet a little bit. Feel free to just take that moment to adjust them. And turn on that back foot. Lift those fingertips to the sky. Drop in to that forward left knee. Bring those hands again to Anjali Mudra at the heart. Exhale, drop forward. Inhale, rise. All right, now I'm going to change things up a bit. Exhale a hand to either side of that forward foot because we have not stretched through that left hip yet. So stepping back, downward dog, soften the left knee, lift that left heel to the sky, open. We're going to be coming around to seated from here. So lift that left heel back to the sky, bring that left knee to the ground. I'm going to find my bolster again and come to seated. All right, if you are ready, I'm going to stay in seated today for our Savasana, but you are welcome to come to a lying position. So come into whatever place feels comfortable and happy and calm and peaceful for you today. Remind yourself again, and we have our kitten has popped into the picture. So finding your place again, reminding yourself of the mantra that you chose to begin with, or finding a new mantra after your heart has opened and you have been moving and opening through those hips. So I'm going to choose, I'm healthy and worthy of that good health. I am healthy and worthy of that good health. As we settle into this space, I'm going to offer up the Sanskrit version of the Lakshmi mantra. So I'm just going to introduce Om Shrim Mahalakshmi Namaha. Om Shrim Mahalakshmi Namaha. One more time. Om Shrim Mahalakshmi Namaha. Just allowing yourself to settle in to wherever you're comfortable in your Shavasana, be that seated on the floor, seated in a chair, laying on your back, reminding yourself that abundance and prosperity is open to all. Be that health, be that spiritual, be that material or financial abundance. Lakshmi represents all of the goodness in life, all of those things where we can find abundance, all of those places in our life where we can find abundance. Imagine yourself allowing energy to move out in all directions. As you settle in and breathe. Now starting to allow your body to move a bit, be that fingers, toes, wiggling, moving through the legs, through the hips. Starting to allow your body to move. When you're ready, hug your knees into your chest and allow your body to settle to one side or the other, whatever feels best. And then bring yourself to a seated place. As you come into that seated place and join those of us that were already there, again, bring your hands to your heart. Back to that Anjali Mudra. Now open into the Lotus Mudra. Just pressing the thumbs and the baby fingers together and opening up. Imagining that mudra, allowing energy out and in all directions. Open yourself to abundance and prosperity. Exhale the hands to the prayer at the heart. May you be healthy. May you be happy. May you live in peace. Have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice so that I have a practice to submit for my final project. I appreciate all of you. Again, enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and we will see you soon.